Thanks.
The story of a successful woman in business started as a dream and a craving for a Mexican dessert.
All of this is like a dream, okay? Because everything started with a dream. But in my dream, it was not really gelatin desserts. It was my dream of coming to the United States and starting a business and having the experience of being here.
The result? Lulu, as her friends and family call her, brought to the U.S. market a traditional Mexican gelatin. Or as she says on her website, lulusdessert.com, Lulu was the first to turn ready-to-eat gelatin into a main event. But let's back up a bit to 1982, when the peso went bust, and so did her international travel business in California.
I was really dedicated to my travel business when the devaluation of the peso hurt not only my business but many other businesses in Mexico. And suddenly, my life changed. So I had to stop and said, what am I going to do? Am I going to go back to Mexico? I'm going to stay? What am I going to do?
While Lulu pondered, she began craving the kinds of gelatinas she had grown up on, but she couldn't find any for sale here.
I said, well, if there's no gelatin available, this is a product that we traditionally have in Mexico. I'm going to start doing a research about it, and probably, I'm going to start a business like this.
Today, she's producing 3 million cups of Lulu's dessert every year. It's taught her, she says, the importance of client satisfaction.
The word of mouth is so powerful that the consumers that we have been supporting us year after year and recommending the product to others. So that's a way to start a business when you really don't have a lot of marketing resources to put out there in paid advertisement.
Her hunch was right, but her plan was flawed. She opened a small Lulu's Desserts store and waited for people to line up outside.
But I was ready to quit 3 months later, basically because I didn't have no customers interested at all in this kind of dessert. Well, I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but I asked myself, well, if the customer doesn't come to me, let me go and find the customer. And I decided to put my product in a little cup like this, 3 layers, and start putting them in my car.
She drove from one mom-and-pop store to the next, only to get the same reaction.
They didn't want to buy my product because they didn't understand what is this all about. You can make always Jell-O at home. Why are you bringing me this product? I said, well, but because it's a tradition, Mexicans like to eat gelatin, why don't you try? So the only way I convince the customer is leaving the product on consignment basis. And from there, they liked the idea. It worked well. In the morning, I was leaving my product, and then in the afternoon, I received a phone call that said, Senora, please come back. Your gelatins were sold. We want more.
For Lulu, it was hard-earned dedication and persistence masquerading as good luck.
I had a call from a big supermarket at that time, and they said, we would like to order 1,000 cases. And I said, well, I'm afraid it's not going to be possible because I don't even know how to find a supplier of boxes. I don't even know how to produce 1,000 cases. So he said, so what do you want me to do? I said, well, let me think about it, and then I will get back to you.
The Mexico City native decided that she was ready for this commercial rite of passage.
So I had to put my act together and really start working hard on how I was going to develop a higher production. And I did it. It was really a matter of dedication, of putting together and doing some research about the suppliers and the machinery that I had to start putting together.
At first, Lulu did it all, including driving the company truck, and paid for it all out of her own pocket.
I capitalized my company through my savings that I brought from Mexico, but I didn't have no credit here at all. So what happened is I was using my profits that I was having from the product and putting it back into the company.
After a few years, she qualified for a loan from the Small Business Administration and was able to expand even more.
They gave me almost $1 million at that time for me to move again and establish the business in a much more serious way, purchasing a real estate building for the company.
Nowadays, Lulu spends most of her time reaching out to other Latinas who may have dreams of starting their own successful businesses. In her recent book, Thriving Latina Entrepreneurs. She writes of other success stories and shares some of the things that worked for her.
It is so important that we Latinos learn how to share our experience and also inspire others. What really motivated me was the learning process, the innovation. And you can have any business that you want if you really have what I call determination. Determination for me means responsibility, means believing in yourself, means believing in your product, means having integrity. All of these things that you have to have when you're a business owner.